DeWanna Bonner, who is one of the greatest players in WNBA history, to the Indiana Fever. She has played in more playoff games than any player in the history of the WNBA, missing the playoffs only one time in her illustrious career.
The Indiana Fever continue to make massive moves in free agency, signing Sophie Cunningham and DeWanna Bonner. And you guys, I don't even think they're done.
What's up, Fever fans? DB here. So happy to be here, so excited. I'll see you guys.
It has been reported by The Athletic that DeWanna Bonner was courted by the Minnesota Lynx and actually chose the Indiana Fever.
The Indiana Fever has just pulled off to silence the critics who claim that Caitlin Clark. The Fever are now looking like serious championship contenders, and their rapid transformation is nothing short of incredible. But can they actually turn all this hype into a championship? Well, let's find out in today's special episode. A year ago, the Indiana Fever was a struggling team with a record of 13-27 in the 2023 season. That was actually an improvement from 2022 when they went 5-31. The worst record in the league. Attendance was low. The energy around the team was dead, and they had not made the playoffs since 2016. Fans were frustrated, and the team seemed stuck in an endless cycle of mediocrity.
I idolized WNBA players growing up, and now that I'm here in this moment and I get to do the same exact thing, like, how lucky am I? I didn't know how exactly fan support would translate from the college level to the WNBA, like, especially getting...
Then everything changed in 2024 when they drafted Caitlin Clark. She came into the WNBA with enormous expectations after breaking NCAA records and bringing millions of fans to women's basketball, and she delivered.
Hell no! Clark the fling ahead. Oh, what a dime! And Mitchell lays it in!
In her rookie season, she averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Not only did she win Rookie of the Year, but she also set the WNBA record for most assists in a season. Her impact went beyond the court. Attendance skyrocketed, and the Fever became the most talked about team in the league.
Chart for the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever are pretty much blowing out every other team. They are averaging almost 16,000 per 39 games, so this is taking into consideration not only the Indiana Fever home game.
The Fever's home games saw an average attendance of 17,000 fans per game, the highest in WNBA history. Across their 18 home games, over 340,000 people showed up, a huge jump from the previous seasons when they struggled to get 4,000 fans in the building. Suddenly, Indiana Fever tickets became the hottest item in town. People who had never watched a WNBA game before were now invested, and businesses around the arena saw a 25% increase in revenue on game days. It was a complete transformation. But despite all of this, some critics insisted that no top players wanted to join the Fever because of the attention Caitlin Clark brought. They claimed that the media circus around her was too much, that the team was too focused on one player, and that veterans wouldn't want to deal with the hype. Those critics have now been proven completely wrong.
Training about 4 or 5 days a week. A lot of young guns out there now that, they want to take your spot, and I don't blame them, but it's going to be hard because I'm going to go after it.
DeWanna Bonner choosing to sign with the Fever is a direct response to all the false stories. If players were avoiding Indiana, why would a star like Bonnie, who had multiple options in free agency, pick them? The truth is, top players want to win, and they see Indiana as a team on the rise. Bonner isn't just any player. She's one of the greatest forwards in WNBA history, with over 7,000 career points and 2 championship rings. She has played in big moments, knows what it takes to win, and brings experience that will be invaluable to a team filled with young stars. She could have gone to other teams, but she saw what Indiana was building and wanted to be part of it. And Bonner isn't the only major addition. The Fever also signed Natasha Howard, a 3-time WNBA champion and former Defensive Player of the Year. Howard is a force in the paint, shutting down opponents and making life miserable for anyone who tries to drive to the basket. Then, they made a smart trade to bring in Sophie Cunningham, a tough, gritty shooter who can knock down threes and bring some much-needed edge to the team.
From the moment Kelsey Mitchell stepped on the floor at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, her time with the Indiana Fever has been memorable, impactful, and historic.
Mitchell, she'll pull up. Here's a three. She's got it! And that's...
On top top of that, they re-signed Kelsey Mitchell, who was already one of the best scorers on the team with 19.2 points per game last season. With these moves, the Fever has gone from a team just hoping to make the playoffs to a team with serious championship aspirations.
If we look at DeWanna Bonner, for example, DeWanna Bonner has been in the league for 16 seasons. She has seen it all. She has been there when the arena isn't even halfway full. She has flown commercial her entire...
Bonner has also built a legendary career over 15 years, earning 6 All-Star selections and 2 WNBA championships. Even in her mid-30s, she continues to put up impressive numbers. In 2024, she averaged 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists per game, proving she can still compete at the highest level. Most players at her age start slowing down, but Bonner remains a key contributor. Her ability to score, defend, and bring leadership to a team makes her an asset for any franchise looking to win a title. Many fans were shocked when Bonner chose Indiana over other contenders. The Minnesota Lynx, who were one controversial call away from a championship in 2024, were one of the teams pursuing her. With stars like Nafisa Collier and Kayla McBride, Minnesota was a clear title favorite. The Phoenix Mercury also wanted Bonner back, where she had spent the first decade of her career alongside legends like Diana Taurasi.
The Indiana Fever select Aaliyah Boston, University of South Carolina.
IQ, the brilliance, the personality, and Aaliyah Boston has it all.
Then there's Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 Rookie of the Year. She has already established herself as one of the best young bigs in the game, a double-double machine with elite rim protection. Boston gives the Fever a dominant presence in the paint. At just 23 years old, she hasn't even reached her prime yet. Her combination of size, skill, and basketball IQ makes her the perfect front-court anchor for a championship team. With Clark and Boston as the core duo, the Fever have built a roster that is built to win for years. Adding Bonner gives them the veteran leadership they need. She's been through deep playoff runs, won championships, and understands what it takes to win at the highest level. For a young team like Indiana, having a player with that experience is invaluable. A starting lineup featuring Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, and Natasha Howard is one of the most well-rounded in the league. They have shooting, defense, size, experience, and a true superstar leading the way. This is bad news for the rest of the WNBA. Just as other teams thought they had a chance to slow down the Fever's rise, Indiana stacked their roster with talent. It's no longer just the Caitlin Clark show. This is now a team built to dominate on every level, and that's exactly what top players want to be part of. Some people still refuse to accept what's happening. They continue to push the idea that the attention Clark brings is a negative. But let's be real. What she has done for the WNBA is something no other player in history has accomplished. The league saw a 170% increase in viewership in her rookie season. WNBA merchandise sales jumped by 600%. Ratings for games involving Clark were consistently higher than ever before. This isn't a circus. This is a revolution. The reality is that players want to be where the energy is. Just like NBA stars wanted to play with LeBron James or Steph Curry because they knew those players could elevate their teams, WNBA players are realizing the same thing about Caitlin Clark. Her presence alone opens up opportunities, more sponsorships, more TV deals, and most importantly, more chances to win championships. Some wondered if Bonner and Clark would be able to play together after their fiery matchup in the 2024 playoffs. During their playoff series, Bonner played Clark aggressively, committing several hard fouls that sparked heated exchanges. It looked like they were bitter rivals, not future teammates. But in basketball, competition often leads to respect. Bonner clearly sees the potential in Clark and wants to be part of what Indiana is building. We all know that Caitlin Clark joining the Indiana Fever has already changed the WNBA in ways that many never imagined. The attention, the ratings, the packed arenas, everything is skyrocketing. But the real game changer will be if she wins. Not just a few games, not just Rookie of the Year, but a championship. That's when things get serious. That's when the WNBA goes from riding a wave to riding a rocket.
Have our first look at the ratings for March Madness, and for the first time ever, the women NCAA title game out. South Carolina's win over Iowa averaged almost 19 million.
Look at the numbers. Clark's 2024 NCAA championship game pulled 18.9 million viewers. That is more than most NBA playoff games, which has historically struggled to get past 1 to 2 million viewers. Even her first WNBA playoff game, if she makes it that far, will likely beat those numbers. This isn't just a temporary hype train. This is a fundamental shift in how people see women's basketball. But let's talk about what a championship would do. Imagine Clark leading the Fever to a WNBA title. The moment that final buzzer sounds, the league isn't just growing, it's exploding. This isn't a new story. We've seen it before. When Michael Jordan won his first title with the Bulls, it wasn't just a win for Chicago. It changed the NBA forever. Tom Brady wasn't just another quarterback until he won. Patrick Mahomes didn't become the most exciting player in football just by throwing deep passes. He had to win to lock in his legacy. Winning isn't just about trophies, it's about status. And for Clark, it means she's not just a rising star. She's the defining force of the WNBA. The ripple effects of her success would be massive. We're already seeing WNBA ratings jump by 170% and a new media deal worth $200 million per year. That's before she's even played a WNBA game. Now picture what happens if she wins. Suddenly, more players want to join her in Indiana. More fans want to tune in. More brands want to invest. The Fever becomes a dynasty in the making, and the WNBA gets the sustained growth it has been chasing for decades. It's not just about money and attention, it's also about respect. There have been plenty of debates about whether Clark gets too much media coverage compared to other talented WNBA players. Some argue that players who have scored more points or won championships haven't gotten the same spotlight, but winning eliminates those arguments. If Clark leads her team to a title, there's no more what if. It's real. It's undeniable.
Oh my god, quick video before I do a big breakdown. DeWanna Bonner is reported by ESPN to be signing with the Indiana Fever, or to be expected to be signing with the Indiana Fever.
That's why veterans like DeWanna Bonner are making their moves carefully. At 37, Bonner isn't signing with Indiana just to play a few more games before retiring. She sees an opportunity. She sees a window to win a championship, and she knows Clark is the key to making that happen. Players don't chase rings with teams they don't believe in. Bonner's decision speaks volumes. The Fever's front office deserves credit for making this all happen. They have transformed the team from a struggling franchise into a legitimate contender in just a couple of years. Drafting Clark in Boston was the first step, but making smart veteran additions like Bonner shows they are serious about winning now. It's not just about developing young talent. It's about chasing a championship. Bonner's decision also sends a message to the rest of the league. Some critics had speculated that top players might not want to play alongside Clark due to her high-profile presence and style of play. But Bonner choosing Indiana proves that theory wrong. Elite players want to win, and Clark gives them a real chance to do that.
My teammates made 13 shots off my passes, so that goes to them. But I mean, I don't know.
She's so humble, isn't she?
Well, I don't know what to say.
Like,
I mean, it's great.
That's
I don't know.
Pretty cool, Caitlin.
Clark and Boston are only 23, which means they have over a decade of dominance ahead of them. With the WNBA salary cap set to increase in the next few years, Indiana will have more flexibility to attract even more top talent. Players who want a shot at a championship will be willing to take pay cuts to join this squad, just like how stars gravitated toward the Golden State Warriors during their dynasty run. The Fever's front office has positioned the team for long-term success. With the right mix of young stars, veteran leadership, and smart roster moves, they have created a championship or bust culture. That's exactly what Bonner was looking for when she made her decision. She's not here to develop young players or go through another rebuilding phase. She's here to win. And that's all we have for today's episode. Don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell for more future updates.